Hi, today's video will explain how to connect Qlab 5 or Qlab 4 and an ETC Eos console together. I will also explain how to have Qlab control ETC Eos Cues, as well as ETC Eos control Qlab Cues. Today I am using an Iox XE 20 running version 3.3.4 build 21. I'm also using a Macbook Air running Qlab 5.4.11 and also another MacBook running Qlab 4.7. What you'll need one EOS console with a few cues plotted and one MacBook or Mac running Qlab 5 or 4 with a few cues plotted. You'll also need a Ethernet cable. I suggest around 3 meters just to get between the console and the computer. You'll also need a USB-C to Ethernet adapter like this one here. Step 1. Connect the console and Qlab together. In order to connect the console and Qlab together, we need to use an Ethernet cable. So if we head around to the back of the lighting console, we see that there are 2 network ports. We see that this is the Ethernet cable, so we're going to plug that into port 1. And then the other end of that cable is going to plug into my USB-C to Ethernet adapter, which is plugged into the Qlab machine. Next, we want to set the console and Qlab machine to the same IP address and subnet range. For example, in the console, go to the shell, and in order to go to the shell, you must exit out the software. Now that we're in the shell, we want to go down to Settings, we want to go to Network, and remember that we plugged the Ethernet cable into port 1. We want to set the IP address of the console to 192.168.0.1. While we are in this menu, we want to ensure that obtain an IP address automatically is not checked. Now we're going to look at the subnet mask. We're going to set the subnet mask to 255.255.255.0. We're done in EOS settings for the moment. Now we're going to head over to the Qlab machine. What we're going to do is open up System Settings. We're going to go down to Network. We're going to select our network USB-C card. We're going to click on that. We're going to go to Details. We're going to go to TCP/IP. And under here where it says Configure IPv4, we want to make sure it is manually. Then we want to add the IP address that we want to set the Qlab machine to. So for today's example, I'm using 192.168.0.9. This should be different to the console, or else they will not be able to communicate to each other. Only the last digit should be different. This can be anywhere from 0 to 255. The subnet mask must be set to the same as the EOS console. We're going to click OK to save those settings. Now we're going to test the connection between the Qlab machine and the EOS console. There's 3 ways of doing this. The first way is to check the network indicator LEDs on your network cards. So here we see that the LEDs are flashing in green, and here we see that the LEDs are flashing. The second option is to ping the Qlab machine from EOS. So what we're going to do is click on ping here. We're going to click on this box here, and we're going to add in the IP address of the Qlab machine, which is 192.168.0.9. Then we're going to click enter. And now we see that we are receiving a reply from the Qlab machine. You can also ping the console from the Qlab machine. What we're going to do is open up terminal. Then we're going to type in a command, which is ping-c. Then we're going to add in the number of pings we want to do. So I'm just going to add in 5 pings. And then we add in the IP address of the console. Then we click enter, and we see that we're receiving packets from the ETC Eos console. Step 2. Now we're going to set Qlab up so that it controls ETC Eos Cues. You want to make sure that both machines are networked together, which has been done in step 1 of this video. On the EOS console, the following settings must be applied in the shell. So in order to get to the shell, we want to click accept from the previous step. Then we want to make sure we launch into primary. If you launch into backup, client, offline, or anything else, that will not work for this. What we want to do in the CIA is we're going to open up Setup, and then we're going to go to System, Show Control, to the OSC tab, and we want to make sure that OSC RX or Receive is enabled. We also want to set the OSC UDP port RX to 9001. On the Qlab 5 machine, we want to go to Network Settings in Qlab. So we go to Network Settings by going Command, scrolling down to Network, to Network Outputs, and then we're going to create a new network patch. We're going to label this EOS Console. We're going to select our type, which is EOS Family. Network is UDP. The interface is this one here, which is our Ethernet adapter plugged into the Macbook. And then the destination is the IP address of the console, which is 192.168.0.1. Here we add the port number as well, which is 9001. Then we click Done. Now that we've applied the settings in both EOS and Qlab, we want to head into Qlab and create a network queue. In order to create a network queue, you drag this icon, drag it to there. Then we're going to select in Patch, the EOS console. Then we're going to click Type, which is going to be a queue. The user, we don't need to specify. The command is to run the queue, and the queue number. If we look at EOS, I want to fire my pre-show lighting state with the pre-show music. So we're going to add LXQ1, enter. If I press play on the pre-show music group, which will fire both the network queue to fire Q1 in EOS, as well as the sound queue for the pre-show music.
You said that you've been lonely, makes you cold as ice.
You can see that Qlab has successfully executed the EOS queue. In Qlab 4, it is a very similar process. We open up our settings by going Command, then we scroll down to Network. Then we add a name, EOS Console. The type is an address. The network is the Ethernet adapter, which won't be coming up on this computer. And the destination is going to be 192.168.0.1. The port number is going to be 9001, and there will not be a passcode. Then click Done. Now I'm going to explain how to create a network queue in Qlab 4. We're going to head into Qlab. Here, we're going to add a network queue, which is this one here. Then what we're going to do is go to Settings. We're going to click on our EOS console destination. And then here, we've got to type the string in manually. So this is the command. It's /EOS/Q/1, which is QList1, /1, which is Q1, and then we go /fire. That way, when we execute this queue, it'll execute Q1 in EOS. Part 3. Now we're going to set up EOS so that it can fire Qlab queues. So first of all, we want to head into EOS. We want to head back into System Settings. We want to scroll down to Show Control, into OSC. We want to make sure that OSC TX is enabled. This is going to allow us to transmit commands out of the console into Qlab. We want to set our OSC UDP transmit port to 53,000. In the OSC UDP TX IP address box, we're going to add the IP address of the Qlab machine, which is 192.168.0.9. Now we're going to head back into Qlab. We're going to enter settings by going Command, We're going to scroll down to Network. We're going to go into OSC Access. And here we're going to make sure that Allow OSC Connections is ticked on. In the passcode area here, we want to delete anything apart from the no passcode row. In order to delete any other row, you just click on the X right here. We also want to set the OSC listening port to 53,000, which is the same as the console. In the no password row, we want to make sure that the view edit, and control tick boxes are all checked. For Qlab version 4, we want to open up settings by going Command comma. Then we want to scroll down to the OSC controls tab. We want to ensure that use OSC controls is ticked on. We want to make sure that use password is ticked off. And that's all we need to adjust in here. Click done to save the settings. Now we're going to head back into EOS, back into live. We're going to open up our PSD, hide the CIA, and then we're going to step forward into the queue where we want to fire Qlab from. On the command line, we're going to type Q. We're going to look at our soft keys in the bottom right hand corner. We're going to select soft key 5, which is execute. Then we're going to select soft key 1, which is string. Then we're going to type / CUE for Q / the queue number of the queue in Qlab, which is 11. Then we're going to go / and go, so GO. Now we're going to click enter. And now you can see in the PSD, in the execute column, that string / Q /11 / go has been added. Now, if we step back a queue, then step forward into LXQ4, this will execute the Qlab queue.